Hello students, now we discuss about exact sampling distributions. What do you mean by exact sampling distributions? Already we came to know probability distributions. So what are probability distributions? The first one is binomial distribution, the next one is the Poisson distribution under discrete probability distributions. Under continuous distribution, the king of all the distributions, what we came to know, the normal distribution. Now today we are going to understand about the exact sampling distributions. What do you mean by exact sampling distributions? The exact sampling distributions actually applied on the samples whatever you draws from the population. So exact sampling means you know the sample size before itself. So when you know the sample size, by applying these distributions, one can easily understand the pattern, how the various sample values are, changing, expressing. Based upon that pattern, you can calculate various kinds of, parameters. That's why these distributions are known as the exact sampling distributions. The name itself indicating you, these distributions exclusively you are going to apply on the samples whatever you are going to collect, whatever you are going to select from the populations. Okay. Now as far as the exact sampling distributions are concerned, these are the very important three distributions. The first one is called the chi-square distribution. The second one is called the T distribution. And the third one is known as the F distribution. So this T distribution is also known as student T distribution. Now here this symbol is a Greek letter called as chi-square. So how do you call this? Chi-square. You should not pronounce chi-square. It's wrong way of pronouncing that. What is the exact way of pronouncing this sign? Chi-square. Chi-square test. T test. F test. Okay. Because we are understanding these exact sampling distributions. These information is connected to the SST. What is SST? Small sample test. So if you are understanding about the small sample test, the small samples whatever you picks up from the population not follows the normal distribution. If the population follows the normal distribution, we can convert into Z statistic and we can develop the formula. But the small samples not follows the normal distribution. So because of that, what happens, based upon the peculiarity of the sample information, these these distributions have been developed. What to call them? Exact sampling distributions. Understand? Actually, as you know very well, a small sample is such a sample whose size is always less than 30. That means n is going to be 29 or 28 or 27, like that. That means the number of informative values to explain about the population are few in number. That means the freedom to understand about the population is going to be very less. Getting my point? That is why when you are applying the small sample test formulae, besides that what you call the alpha percent value, LOS, that is the critical values, you are going to calculate one more special value, what you call that, the degrees of freedom, DOF value. So which is a Greek symbol. You call this one as the new. So remember that from now onwards, when you are taking out the small sample test stable value, not only the alpha percent, but you need to calculate the degrees of freedom also. Why? Because the small sample test will have the small sample. Based upon that, generalizing information to the big circle. So this is very, very small. So generalizing about this big circle is going to be very, very difficult. Understand? So in order to have that good generalization, we are going to use one more statistical numerical value, what to call that one as degrees of freedom. Actually, what do you mean by degrees of freedom? The degrees of freedom is nothing but the extent of freedom enjoyed by given set of observed frequencies, or the extent of independence enjoyed by the given set of observed frequencies. You call that the degrees of freedom. The best example to understand the purpose of the degrees of freedom is nothing but let us take this wonderful example. Now look at this wonderful example. Through this example, one can understand the actual meaning of the what to call the degrees of freedom. Let us suppose that you actually picks of different colors of dress based upon that day. Understand? So in a week, how many days would be there? 7 days. Now how many color dresses you got in your wardrobe, like what you call violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, VIBGR. So these many color dresses are there. Understand? Let us suppose that on Monday you want to pick one color dress, understand, for a function or else for a college, isn't it? So in these 7 different color dresses, you can pick any one color. So let us suppose that here you picked up a blue color dress for Monday. Okay. Same way, that is, the first day is over. Now come to the next day, second day. To pick the second day dress, how many dresses are with you now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 dresses are what you called verily independently available to you to pick for the second day. That means you got more freedom. But if you take the first day, you got much more freedom. What is that? 7 dresses were there. But already one dress you have been used. Now how many dresses are there? 6 dresses are there. For the second day, again in these 6 dresses you can use any one of the dress. Understand? So let us suppose that here I go for using what is that day name Tuesday, yellow dress. Now come to the third day. So for third day to pick up, how many dresses are free now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let us suppose that here you picks what you called the first violet color. So what is the day name? Wednesday. Now next day 4. So how many dresses are free now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now let us suppose that the 4th day you picks up what you called indigo color dress. Same like that, if you come to the 5th day, how many dresses are free now? 1, 2, 3. Isn't it? So what is that? Now let us suppose that so you picks up here a green color, isn't it? What is the day name? The day name is going to be Friday. Now again 2 more days are there, 2 more dresses are there. So the next day, what is that? Saturday. How many options you got? 2 options. Getting my point? So now here, let us suppose that on Saturday you picks of orange color. Now finally, for the Sunday, there is no freedom at all. You need to pick only red color dress. Then what is the degrees of freedom for this entire situation if you concern? Understand? So total how many dresses are there? 7 dresses are there. Out of 7, the freedom is there to choose for 6 dresses. That is 6. Then what is the degrees of freedom? That value 7 minus 6 is nothing but 1, which we are denoting by means of what we call the new. Getting my point? That means while you are applying the sampling theory on small samples, your freedom is going to be limited. So to calculate that limitedness of the freedom, this numerical value is very, very important. What is that? The extent of independence or the freedom enjoyed by given set of what you called observed values or the frequencies. Getting my point? So this is a very, very important value calculation. So in all the small sample tests, you are going to use this value to pick the table value. So without the table value, finally you cannot make the decision. So what to call this? The degrees of freedom. Getting my point? So after understanding what do you mean by degrees of freedom, now we go for understanding the exact sampling distributions like chi-square distribution, T distribution, F distribution. So what are these? Okay. So just now we came to know that what do you mean by degrees of freedom, the extent of independence enjoyed by given set of observed frequencies. So what is the formula? Nu is equal to n minus k. The number of frequencies, that means the number of dresses, out of which only choice would be there on 6 dresses. For the last dress there will not be any chance. So hence here 7 minus 6, 1. So here what is the what to call the number of frequencies? That means n is the 7, k is going to be the 6 dresses. So like that here you can calculate the degrees of freedom. So after understanding the degrees of freedom, now we are going to understand the first kind of exact sampling distribution. Most of the times they ask you as a what to call short answer question. Explain about chi-square distribution, T distribution, F distribution, properties and its applications. So you need to by heart this information. So first you are going to understand about the chi-square distribution. What is the definition says you? The sum of the squares of independent standard normal variates is called a chi-square variate, and its distribution is called as a chi-square distribution. Okay. If all the standard normal distributions squared and added, that added total is known as the chi-square distribution. So what is the standard normal variate? The standard normal variate is nothing but the standard normal variate is what? X minus mu by sigma. If you go on adding this one, squaring plus adding for second variable plus dash dash dash, this entire set of numbers is nothing but chi-square distribution. That is what? The sum of squares of independent standard normal variate is called a chi-square variate, and its distribution is called as a chi-square distribution. So how do you denote that? Z square is equal to sigma xi minus mu by sigma xi minus mu by sigma whole square. So remember, both are sigmas only. This is operation sigma, this is standard deviation. So is a chi-square variate with n degrees of freedom, and its distribution is called the chi-square distribution. So under chi-square distribution, all values are going to be what is called give same kind of information. Hence, what is the degrees of freedom? N degrees of freedom. Now, if you observe all these chi-square distributions, now see the graph. For n is equal to 1, the chi-square distribution curve will be like this. But whenever n is equal to 5, the sample size is 5, the chi-square distribution is almost equal to bell-shaped curve. But whenever the chi-square distribution size is 10, the what you call the skewed kind of curve, left side skewed curve you are finding. Strictly speaking, all these exact sampling distributions, chi-square, t distribution, f distribution, developed from the normal distribution only. That's why every time whenever data is given, the matching would be there with the normal curve. Okay. Now these are the properties of the chi-square distribution. So what is the mean of the chi-square distribution? Simply the sample size is going to be its mean. If you want to calculate, multiply the sample size with 2n becomes a variance. Beta 1, 8 by n, beta 2, 12 by n plus 3. So these are all what you call the statistical constants, skewness and kurtosis values. Now, if n reaches to infinity, the chi-square distribution turns to normal distribution. That's what n goes on taking larger values. It what you call becomes almost a normal distribution. So what are the uses of the chi-square distribution? So in small sample test, it is useful for testing what you call the test for the equality of the population variance. So what is the sign here? Sigma square means variance. That means test for the population variance. So population variance compared to a given constant value. But this is not there in your syllabus. Okay. So these are other uses of what you call our chi-square distribution. So what are those? Chi-square distribution used to test the goodness of fit, and it is used to test the independence of attributes in contingency tables. So these two are also not there in your syllabus. Just for understanding purpose, better to know this. Okay. So after understanding the chi-square distribution, next very important distribution we are going to understand what is it? The student t distribution. This one given to us by Gosset. So as per one story, the student distribution actually developed because of a doubt raised by a student. By the time that a scientist formulated all this information, he forgot the student name. But still he got the regards about the doubt for that student. Hence, honoring him, this distribution is itself named as the student t distribution. Okay. So what is the definition? Let x1 comma x2 dash dash xn be a random sample drawn from a normal population. The student t statistic is defined as t is equal to x bar minus mu by capital S by root n. So if you take s inside under root, whatever, it becomes square. So what is the square actually? How do you get s square? 1 by n minus 1 sigma xi minus x bar whole square. So what is the meaning of this unbiased estimator of the population variance? So we already discussed the population variance directly cannot be assumed as an unbiased estimator. So to make the population variance as unbiased estimator, we need to multiply with 1 by n minus 1. So that means here to calculate s square we apply this formula. But here what is the degrees of freedom? N minus 1. For chi-square directly n, but here n minus 1 degrees of freedom. The distribution of above statistic is called a student t distribution with n degrees of freedom. So what are the properties? Like standard normal distribution, t distribution is a symmetrical. What is symmetricity? It's just like a opened notebook. So in an open notebook, what happens? You can draw exactly the middle line where you find actually that staples, that pin, isn't it? Left side, right side, you find the same space. If you close, both the sides are going to be merging to each other. So that property is known as the symmetrical property. Our palms are also symmetrical. Most of the times, left palm, right palm will have the same area. Same way, normal distribution bell-shaped curve is a symmetricity curve. Same way, T distribution also, if you draw, you find the symmetricity property. Just like normal distribution, here also mean, median, mode for the T distribution are equal. That to 0. For large values of n, the T distribution tends to normal distribution. You see, the red color is a normal distribution bell-shaped curve. But when the sample size is 2, the T distribution is going to be this blue color shape, almost becoming the normal curve shape. But for n is equal to 15, that means sample size has been increased. The T distribution still reached closer to the shape of the normal distribution. That's why what is the meaning of this? When the sample size increases, the T distribution becomes a normal distribution. Okay? So what are the uses? In small sample test, T distribution has the following uses. It is used to test mu is equal to mu naught. So what is this? It's a small sample test application. We got this test in your syllabus. That is comparing the population mean with that of the given value. In small sample test again, the T distribution useful to test this hypothesis, H naught mu1 is equal to mu2. That means whether the two population means are equal or not. To test, we can apply the what we called this T distribution. Now we go for discussing the last exact sampling distribution. What is that? Snedeker's F distribution, or simply F distribution. So the Snedeker's F distribution is nothing but the ratio of the two chi-square variates divided with respect to degrees of freedom. That's why what is the definition? The ratio of two independent chi-square variates divided by their respective degrees of freedom. DOF stands for degrees of freedom, is called as a F variate, and its distribution is called as the Snedeker's F distribution. So what is the Snedeker's F distribution formula? Chi1 square by n1 whole divided by chi2 square by n2. But what is the condition? The first sample size should be more than that of the second sample size. The distribution of above statistic is called Snedeker's F distribution with n1, n2 degrees of freedom. Again here also what is the property? For large values of n1 and n2, F distribution follows normal distribution. So this F distribution you are going to use while testing the two population variance whether equal or not in small sample test, but this is not there in our syllabus. And also we are going to use this F statistic under ANOVA also. That is the last technique under your 4th unit. So today what we learned, 3 variety kinds of exact sampling distributions. One is chi-square distribution, T distribution, F distribution. All these 3 are actually developed from normal distribution only. Understand? And also we came to know the definition of the degrees of freedom. So next we are going to understand about what we call one more set of tests, what we call them SST, small sample tests. I stop here. Thank you.